The 2025 Saudi Formula One Grand Prix is done and dusted, and with that we finally finished our first triple header of the season. This is still a long way to go to the end of the season. It's still like 19 Grand Prix to go. We've just finished the 5th race of the season, the 5th round. It was a so-so race, not really like a 5-star level rating or some sort, and max it's a 3-star level, maybe a solid 2.9, because like again overtaking is being the main problem here. Not as boring as Suzuka or like Shanghai, for example. Even Shanghai still had some more overtakes compared to Suzuka, but this time in Jeddah it's just a bit better. Again, it's like an hour of tire lectures about the degradation and all some sort, but the Iceman 2.0 still came out on top, and let's just get into it because we have some things to discuss here. In only his 3rd season in the championship, Oscar Piastri has equaled Lando Norris's amount of race wins. Can you believe that? Of course you can. It's not really like an apple-to-apple comparison, knowing that Lando had a terrible car in the first phase of his career in Formula One, especially from 2019 to the middle part of 2023. In 2021 though, the McLaren were good. They were a decent point scorer, top 5 finishes here and there. Even though by the end of the season it was like they were in the lower top 10s. Oscar on the other hand, in 2023 the McLaren were already like on the right trajectory, being podium threats since like Silverstone onwards. And with that fact, of course, Oscar last year he had 2 wins. This year he has won like 3 out of 5 races, and now he's leading the championship. The first Aussie driver to lead the championship since Mark Webber after the end of the 2010 Japanese Grand Prix. Not to mention that Mark Webber is Oscar's mentor, so it's just like it comes full circle now for the 2 Aussies. While Lando at the front being calm, composed, collected, calculated, Lando on the other hand he was just playing the RS game with Lewis for like 3 laps. I'm not really sure why it took McLaren like 2 laps to realize that Lewis was playing the DRS games, and then on the 3rd attempt Lando's engineer said to him to switch strat, and only then he was able to pass Lewis and then sail off the chase what I believe is Kimi Antonelli. So the next one in Florida, in Miami, it's going to be like a tiebreaker for both Oscar and Lando. Who's going to get the 6th win? Judging by Lando's momentum now, he's clearly lost it all, especially after that Bahrain last week, where he only started in the lower position in like a P6. His Q3 shunt at the wall, making him only start at P10 and then climbing all the way up to P4 on the line, getting the fastest lap. But still, he lost all the momentum already. I think by now McLaren can already see it clearly that Oscar is the one to be prioritized. Like I said in the last commentary video, from the beginning of the season, I know that McLaren would pull it off, but I lean more towards Oscar to do the job, to complete the job. First ever McLaren world champion since Lewis, like what, 17 years ago? 2008 was 17 years ago. How time flies. So I've always said that McLaren are having like a bit of a headache trying to manage 2 ultra competitive drivers. Let's be honest, McLaren only have the car. On the other side, Red Bull, they have the driver. I'm not saying that Oscar is bad. I like I said, I lean more towards Oscar to win the championship this season with McLaren. But again, Red Bull, the Red Bull Max combination is just still proof unbeatable when the window is right. On 1 lap pace, like Max is just unbeatable yesterday. It was another magic pole position, just as I predicted in the last commentary video. If you watch the commentary video that I made last week after the Bahrain Grand Prix, I already predicted that it might be another magical pole for Max Verstappen, because let's face it, the characteristic of the Jeddah street circuit with the Suzuka is fairly the same. It's like Suzuka was just closer walls. With Max able to claim the pole position at Suzuka, it's not going to be a question mark if he could or could not do it at Jeddah. And the radio banter between him and the NGP is just like a bit hilarious, a bit very sarcastic about his cheekiness. It is his own cheekiness that creates that radio banter between him and GP, his race engineer. Again, Max's first corner, first lap, it's really cheeky. We do know that Max is never going to let Oscar just having his way through on the inside. I've already predicted it like moments before the race start when I saw that Max was having like a so-so start and Oscar was like launched off the line. Yeah, Max is going to cut the second corner. In the radio banter, when Max found out that he was given a 5-second time penalty, it was like, oh, it's fucking lovely. It's just, you can catch the sarcasm there. It's like he was tired of having all of these penalties nonsense. But this time I agree with the penalty. It is well deserved because he clearly caught the chicane. Yeah, it's his own cheekiness, so he needs to serve the penalty. I was talking about Ferrari's improvement in the previous commentary video, and has it justified? Has it justified the improvements? I think yeah. But it's not like really fully on the Ferrari side, because we can see that Lewis is still struggling. He was sliding all over the place, as he said on the radio. I don't really remember which lap, but he was talking to Ricardo Adami, his race engineer, and he was sliding all over the place. Ricky just replied it must be the overheating and blah blah blah. And the pundits, I noticed one thing about the pundits, that it was either Julian or Alex Jacques who said that even though Lewis should have known that it's due to the overheating of the tires that he was sliding around, being able to get a reconfirmation of it is actually an operating tire is a really good input for the driver, especially at a really high speed. It's good to have that confirmation, because the race engineer clearly has the data, while the drivers can just feel it. They can just feel it on their butts, on their feet and whatnot. On the other hand, Charles Leclerc, his medium tire stint is just, I was in awe. He led the race for a good number of laps. Oh boy, Mercedes. It's like throughout this ground effect regulation era, Mercedes, they're just like always scratching their head from one week to another race week. It's just like last week it was a solid P2 for George, and now it's just good on one lap pace. I mean, he was like a friction from pole position. On race pace, it was disastrous, really disastrous. It was like a tire problem when the hard tires are put on after the pit stop. Both George and Kimi suffer from the same problem. Even Kimi was almost being caught by Lewis. It was like the prediction from the screen. You can see that Lewis was about to catch Kimi in 2 laps, and it was expected to be a battle for P6 in 2 laps. Even though at the end Lewis was just like running out of laps, but he almost caught Kimi. And George, once Charles caught him, he wasn't able to catch Charles again, not even to stick with him. It was like immediately a 5-second gap. It's a baffling weekend for Mercedes. It makes me wonder though if Mercedes are just making this season as a research season for the next regulation, for the next year's regulation, knowing that Mercedes are one of the 3 constructors who are so keen for the 2026 regulation to still take place and not being replaced by the V10 rumors. The last news I read about that meeting between all the 10 constructors was that it was like Mercedes, Honda, and what was the other one? Audi. These 3 constructors, they just refuse all these V10 proposals. And they were like, no, 2026 regulation must go on. Ferrari and Ford, for the Red Bull part, is they lost. They lost just like 3-2. So I think Mercedes was like, okay, they can win this season. It's also a learning season for Kimi. Why bother making like putting all the resources for this season? Why not make the cars for next season be a lot quicker and potentially a championship challenger, knowing that Mercedes did hit the ground running with the previous regulation in 2014. So maybe they're trying a similar approach here. We don't know yet, but that's just my speculation. It's another smooth operation from Carlos Sainz. Carlos, vamos Chile. Oh my god, I just can't reiterate enough how I am such a big fan of Carlos Sainz. He's putting his 2023 Singapore DRS strategy on full display again, but this time it's purposefully keeping Albon within DRS range to defend against Isaac. I mean, like, Isaac was really menacing. He was a really menace in that Racing Bull. This isn't like someone who been it even before the first proper corner of the first lap of his F1 career. He did not even start the race at Albert Park. It was a DNS for him for that crash on the warm-up lap. But Carlos, being a genius he is, he even again he dictates the strategy. He not really dictate in a way like in Ferrari, but he was like actively offering something to the team, to his race engineer. What do you want me to do? Want me to do this? Want me to do that? I can do it. We have the pace to escape at the front. Both of us, both of the Williams car, him and Albon. And the team decided, okay, you need to stay within the DRS range to give Albon DRS so we can defend against Isaac. Because had Carlos just released at the front, Isaac will have caught Albon. And it's going to be like it's still a double points for Williams, but it's like a P10 and a P8 for Carlos, P8 and Albon P10. Why not make it a P8 and P9? And it worked. It worked beautifully. Williams are really improving. Straight Q3 from Albert Park to Saudi. They've been in Q3 throughout the entirety of the 5 Grand Prix we have so far. That's a huge improvement for the midfield team. I cannot wait to see how Williams will going to operate in Miami, especially that Carlos is fairly good there. With this kind of improvement under James Vowles' leadership, to be honest, I can't really wait to see how Williams will perform next season. I'm thinking about next season already in terms of the Williams' performance. Yeah, I think that's it then. That's it that I can talk about today. Especially after this race, it's like a really exciting race from the Williams side, and knowing that Carlos is driving a Williams, I got excited as well. But throughout the entire picture of the race, it's not really that exciting because well, after the pit stop, after Max served his 5-second time penalty, it was just like Oscar releasing at the front and keeping the gap stable, 4.3, 4.6. In the end, it was like 2 point something because Oscar was a bit disrupted by the back markers. But yeah, in the end, Oscar 3 wins out of 5, total domination. We can say total domination, and had it not been for his mistake at Albert Park, he will have scored 100% podium rate this season. I really genuinely believe he could at the very least a P2 at Albert Park in the beginning of the season. But what's done is done. It's always easy to say it in hindsight, but again, make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and maybe we can have some civilized discussion. Like and subscribe for more, and until we meet again.